Hello dear friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sheila. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back friends. So happy to have you here today in the first vlog post my trip to the UK. And I'm really excited to spend this weekend just relaxing, celebrating Halloween weekend, and trying to finish my October TBR, which is the main goal of this video, which I don't know, every time I set a reading goal in my reading vlogs, they never happen or something comes up that prevents me, but it's fun to kind of have an intention or a goal to work towards. And it's okay not to read as many books as you wish you could or the goal that you set, because life is not perfect, as I've really learned a lot in the past 2 weeks. But yeah, anyway, thank you to everyone that has recently subscribed to this channel. It is a growing community here, and it's insane to like look at the subscriber count going up and everything. So thank you so much for subscribing and being here. So let's get into what is going on in this video. So like I mentioned, I want to finish my October TBR, which I did a whole video on that, which is more so like a spooky fall TBR list. And if you saw that video, you'll remember this list that I made for myself, which was more of like a shopping list. There was 13 books on this list, and I think when I made this, I knew I wasn't gonna read all of these this month, but I wanted to kind of see what I could find like when I went book shopping and just narrow down my list based on accessibility. So I think what I need to do is actually check in with my list and see what I've read so far, which will give me motivation, and then figure out what books I need to finish reading. So today is Friday, and I want to try and finish my TBR list by Sunday, which is Halloween, last day of October. So we will see how this goes, but let me check in with this and see how I've been doing. Okay, so we have read The Night Circus, which I did a reading vlog on that. I read The Year of the Witching, also did a reading vlog on that. Truly Devious was also in that same vlog. And I just finished Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. I started that book and finished it while I was on my trip to Europe, and I really enjoyed it. Make sure to follow me on Goodreads to see my ratings for my books for the books that I read, and sometimes I post reviews along with them if I don't necessarily talk about them on my channel, or if I don't include the book on my channel. There will be readings and reviews on my Goodreads. Okay, so moving in. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw is like a Japanese horror novella that I really want to read, and it just came out on October 19th, so I want to go try and find the book today. I'm going to try going to my local bookstore, and if they don't have it, I think I'll end up going to a Barnes & Noble, so we'll go on a little shopping adventure to try and find that. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney was something that I really wanted to read, but I didn't want to buy it, and since it's a new book, I think trying to get it through my library just won't happen, so I'm going to end up nixing this one. So let's put check marks to denote that I did read it, and then just totally cross this out. Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaghy. I am currently reading that book, and we'll be talking more about that in this video. So that is on the to read list for this vlog. The Lighthouse Witches by CJ Cook. I wasn't able to find that book when I went out looking shopping. I think it might be at Barnes & Noble, so we'll keep this here for now and see if I can find it today. House of Leaves, that is a book that I want to try and read this weekend. So we're gonna, actually let's put stars next to the ones that I want to definitely read in this vlog. The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, we're just gonna not include that. The Excess by Erin Sterling, I'm not gonna include that either. I've been seeing that book a lot, like on social media and stuff, but I don't know, it's a romance book, and I'm not looking to read a romance at the moment. I just want to kind of read horror books this weekend. And My Heart is a Chainsaw, that is definitely a book that I want to read this weekend. And In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I wasn't able to find that book when I went shopping, and it's kind of a low priority book, even though it would be perfect to read for Halloween. So I think I'll just end up scratching it off. Okay, so with that said, here is the current TBR for this video, and there are, I think, 1, book that I want to try and find. So there's going to be 4 books in this video that I'm going to try and read, which is like insane. I don't think that's possible, but we're just doing fun, you know, out of the world, outlandish things in this video. So Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaghy is a book I am currently reading. I'm a little more than halfway through. I started this book 2 days ago, the night before my flight back to the States, and then I read a good chunk of it yesterday at the airport and on the plane. And I have, how many pages do I have left? I'm on page 144, so I have about 100 pages left. I'm gonna definitely finish this book tonight. It is not necessarily a horror book, but it's definitely giving me like the chills because it takes place in the Highlands of Scotland and it's based around wolves, and there's a mystery element to it, and I think it's a perfect read, not even just for October, but for like this time of the year and even in through winter, because it does take place in Scotland in like the fall winter times. I'm really enjoying this so far and excited to share more of this with you in this video. The next book that I am planning to read in this video is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is a horror book. I'm really excited to read this. I've not read anything by Stephen Graham Jones. He does have another book called Only Good Indians, which I have a copy of but haven't been able to read it yet. I'm really excited to read this book because it follows a girl who likes slasher movies, and then she somehow ends up in a situation that is exactly like a slasher movie. So I think this is like a good book to read during Halloween weekend. And the third book I want to read this weekend is House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. This is a book that I received from George, my partner, ow. And I just haven't been able to get a chance to read it yet, and it's about a haunted house, and I think it's perfect for Halloween weekend. And I'm not really sure if it's gonna take, how long it's gonna take to read this, because the formatting is, you know, different than a normal book. So I might be able to get through this book pretty quickly, which will be good since I have a lot of other books that I want to read in this video. And then we're gonna try and go find Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw, which I think I'll be able to finish like in a sitting or in like two separate sittings, because I think it's like around 100 pages or so. It's very short. So yes, that is the game plan for this video. We are trying to finish my October TBR, read some chilling, spooky horror books, and just try and get myself as scared as possible. I also want to watch a lot of Halloween ambiance videos on YouTube, because while I was away, I wasn't really watching any ambiance videos because I was just out of my routine, not at my house, and spending a lot of time with family. So I'm really just been craving having ambiance videos on, sitting on my couch, reading, and just relaxing after the chaos that was my trip to England. Today is also very gloomy and super windy. Like it gives me the perfect atmosphere for Once There Were Wolves, just very dark and gloomy and desolate and just very atmospheric, which I am enjoying. I think it's supposed to rain soon, or it's forecast to rain, and it hasn't rained yet, so we'll see. Maybe we'll run into some rain when we go out to go book shopping. But yes, that's the plan. I'm going to hang out for a little bit and drink my chai tea. It's also like cold in our house today, which again goes with the ambiance of this weekend and all the books that I want to read. Yes, welcome to the vlog, friends, and let's get it started. We are off on our little adventure. George is going to the comic book store and I'll probably sit in the car and get some reading done. And then we're gonna go try and find my horror books that I want to get. Very exciting. It is very gloomy out. Hasn't started raining yet, which is good, but I have a feeling it's like sprinkling right now. So it's coming. So let's go book shopping. We found it. And it's so tiny. They also have the Lighthouse Witches, but I don't like this cover. Do I judge books by its cover? Yes, I do.
At first I didn't think about it. At first I thought whatever, yeah. At first I thought I'd work around it. I'd work around it. But you turned out to be so different. Yeah, you turned out to be nothing like them. I changed my mind and got behind it. I got behind it. I'd let you take my breath away. Pick me up like you're my aeroplane, aeroplane. You and me, you know, will never fade. Come on, baby, we got rules to break, rules to break.
Happy Saturday, friends. Happy next day. Book updates, shall we? So yesterday, where did I leave off? We went book shopping and I did get my copy of Nothing But Blackened Teeth. And it's so small. It is a true novella, but I'm very excited to read this. I think I'm gonna read this tonight. We'll get to that in a second. Last night I finished Once There Were Wolves, and no words. This book is amazing. I think it's definitely one of my top favorite books of this year, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. So that alone should just tell you how much I love this book. And I will also say that the ending made me cry. It's a very emotional, engaging book that encompasses different themes of ecology and nature, because you have the storyline around reintroducing wild wolves into Scotland. And there's also themes of love and family, and there's murder, and there's mystery, and self-discovery, and healing, and all of these things, and community as well. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. The writing was also incredibly beautiful. Like, I didn't have any critique, really. There was one part towards the end where I was like, is that plausible? But like, once I kept reading and it really tied in the entire story together, and yeah, it just gave me chills, it had me guessing, and I did not predict the ending at all. So I don't know if you would classify this as like a psychological thriller, mystery. I don't know what it's technically classified as, but it does have all of the elements of being a mystery psychological thriller, which I absolutely love. And after I finished reading this, I wanted to get a head start on My Heart is a Chainsaw, because this is the longest book that I want to read this weekend, and I know that I need to, you know, get a head start on this if I want to try and finish it by tomorrow, because the book is 400 pages long, which is a lot for me to intend to read over the span of 3 days. So I wanted to get a head start on this, which I did last night. I think I got like 20 or 25 pages in before I just needed to pass out because I was just so tired by like 10:30. And then I woke up this morning and read a little more of this in bed and had just been reading it throughout the day. I went outside and did some raked some leaves because we had a pretty intense storm last night. It was very, very windy. And like, once we got to Barnes & Noble, it's when it actually started raining and we got caught in the rain. But yeah, it was very stormy last night, and the backyard, there was like sticks everywhere and leaves. So just wanted to get that kind of cleaned up. And raking is kind of a soothing activity in a way, and it's just a good way for me to get outside as well. So then I ended up just sitting outside and getting some more reading done as well, because it's one of those days where it's colder inside the house than it is outside. So I was like, I'm just gonna go outside because I'm like so cold on the inside and in our house. So now I'm on page 125, and my goal is to get to like halfway through by the end of tonight. And tonight I want to at least start this book, and I want to try and finish this book tonight, and then finish My Heart is a Chainsaw tomorrow. And then somehow I need to figure out how I'm going to fit in House of Leaves into that. I'll probably be reading House of Leaves tomorrow, but I think this will be a good book for me to read tonight when it's dark and spooky and all of the things. And I also want to watch some Halloween movies because I haven't had a chance to really watch a lot of movies this month with the past 2 weeks of traveling and everything and being away and with family. I just wasn't able to watch scarier Halloween movies, so I want to try and watch at least Halloween Town and maybe, I don't know, another movie this weekend. We will see. So yeah, that is the update. I don't really have any plans this weekend other than reading, because if I try to have plans or do something, there's no way I'm going to finish all the books. I just know that George and I need to go grocery shopping, and I've been doing laundry today and tidying up a little bit, getting kind of like settled after traveling and everything. So in between bits of chores and stuff, I'm just reading as much as I can, and we'll try and fit in a movie tonight before I go to bed. So that's the update, friends. I'm going to keep on reading. I'm really enjoying My Heart is a Chainsaw. I wasn't really sure what to expect with the writing, because I knew, like, based on reviews I've read, that his writing style is very gory and violent, and I don't know, I'm into that stuff. I like true crime, I like, you know, horror. I'm not at the point in the book where I feel like it's like super violent and super graphic and gory, but I am only 100 or so pages in, so it might pick up soon. I am hoping. It is slowly building, and I think I already mentioned that it's about a girl who loves slasher movies, and then she is in this town and ends up in a slasher movie situation, and she's basically trying to, like, in her head she feels like there's a real life situation that's turning into a slasher movie, and she's trying to kind of piece everything together and figure out like what is all gonna happen. So she's like playing detective in a way, which is really fun. But yeah, we will see how that transpires. I also really like the character so far because she's very relatable for me because she's mixed race. She is half Indian or indigenous and half white, I believe, and she just feels like an outcast and doesn't fit in at high school, and she finds comfort and protection in her slasher movies. That is her favorite thing, and that's how she kind of makes her place in the world, which I really, it resonates with me. I'd say I'm like it's going pretty well with like my goals, and let's just keep on reading, friends. Sunday, friends. So last night I got through like 75% of Halloween Town and also tried to start Nothing But Blackened Teeth and fell asleep. So I think I only read a few pages of this and then was like, I need a break from reading because I was reading My Heart Is a Chainsaw like all day, and I was just like, I really need to just like watch a movie, watch TV, divert my attention somewhere else, and then fell asleep. But it is okay because today woke up bright and early. It's like, you know, today is a good day to just sit on the couch all day with all of my books, and that is what is happening today. We're gonna try and get through all these 3 books that I'm currently reading because I just started House of Leaves, because I want to read Nothing But Blackened Teeth when it's like dark and kind of spooky out because I want that experience, but at this point I'm gonna have to at least start some of it during the day and then try and finish it tonight because George and I want to watch Parasite tonight at 8 o'clock because he works today and he gets off at 7. So I need to finish reading by 8 o'clock tonight and also need to do some laundry and eat and all of the other things that need to occur as a human being. So I think I might have to push reading into tomorrow evening because I am working tomorrow, but I want to finish reading these books. House of Leaves is a monster of a book. I am only 14 pages in, plus the like intro, which didn't have a page number. They had like the Roman numerals. Takes me a while to kind of get into the writing style and the story, but now I feel like I'm kind of like in it, so it'll go a little bit smoothly. I do not think I can finish this book today on top of My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I have like 175 pages left to read in this one, and then basically this entire book, which is like 124 pages. So that's a lot of reading. Not gonna get it all done today, but we're trying. That is, you know, all we can do at this point. We're trying. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to get back to reading. It is 10:30 and I want to just kind of like sit until lunch and just plow through, and then I think I'll do some laundry and take a break and do lunch and stuff later on in the afternoon, and then get back into reading. So welcome to Sunday, where we're trying to get as much reading done as we can. Cheers. Man, oh man, it has been a day of reading. It has been a marathon day of reading. Honestly, I feel like I'm like booked out. Whew. But I wanted to check in on how progress is going. Okay, so I read Nothing But Blackened Teeth. This took me like an hour and a half to read, so it was very, very, very short. And I don't know, it's hard for me to critique this because it is so short, but the one thing I will say is that I wish there was more action in it for being a horror book and for being so short. One thing I will say, for being so short, I feel like I was able to get to know the characters, you know, quickly and in a deeper way than you might not expect in a very short book. But I don't know, I don't have a full star review for it yet, so make sure you're following me on Goodreads so you can see that full rating, because I kind of have to like finish a book, let it set and marinate before I, you know, come to a full conclusion. But those are my thoughts so far. I thought it was okay. It was good. I feel like it was a good book for me to read on Halloween, which I completely forgot to mention all day that it is Halloween. It is past Halloween now that you're watching this, but good Halloween book, or just a good horror quick read if that is your thing. Also, I was Googling a lot of the Japanese folklore terms that were mentioned in this book because I don't know really anything about Japanese folklore, so that was really interesting to see that side of things and how it was incorporated into the story. Overall, it was okay. As far as My Heart is a Chainsaw, I am almost done, guys. I am almost done. This has been a trip all weekend, and I think I have about less than 70 pages left. It's a long haul book. I'm actually pretty impressed with how far I've gotten with this book for only reading it for, this is day 2. But yeah, I just been literally reading this all weekend, and at this point I'm finally in the, like, you know, the climax part. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this ends. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish this tonight. George and I are gonna watch a movie soon, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from reading, and I think the movie's like 2.5, maybe even 3 hours long, so I'll probably end up going to bed after that. But if I have any steam left in me, I'll try and get some more reading in before I go to bed. But I will definitely finish this tomorrow and check in tomorrow with my full thoughts on this. And House of Leaves was definitely a lofty goal to add to my TBR weekend reading list. I've only gotten to page 44, and it's just a book that I'm gonna have to, you know, spend time reading, because there's basically 2 stories going on at once, which is a really interesting approach to a book, because you have the actual story that's being narrated by somebody, and then that narrator has footnotes in the actual story, and then in those footnotes is a whole separate storyline of the narrator. So there's a dual storyline going on. It's really interesting and unique, and I just can't speed through it. So this is something I'll be reading into November, just so I don't have to, you know, rush myself. That's been the one thing with this weekend in my reading goals, is that while I have felt rushed, I also felt very motivated to read more, which is definitely something that I personally need in terms of accountability, so I don't kind of, you know, slack off and do other things. But yeah, I've been trying to take breaks from reading by doing like laundry and stuff, and then watching some YouTube in between, and eating and all of that. So, but the majority of today, I've just been sitting on the couch reading and getting through my books. But I'm very proud of how far I've gotten, and I will do a final check-in tomorrow when I actually finish this book and wrap it up. So see you tomorrow.